What's up, y'all? It's Weston, and today I'm going to be showing you guys my top 5 favorite exercises for the handstand push-up. So before you learn the handstand push-up, it's really important that you already, 1, know how to handstand, and 2, have a strong base in basic pushing movements and calisthenics, so like push-ups and dips. If you want to learn how to handstand, lucky enough for you, I have a top 5 favorite exercises for learning the handstand, so I'll link that in the description. Go check it out. All right, so for the first exercise, I'm going to be on the floor here. This exercise is the bent arm handstand hold. It's really helpful if you already know how to do this before trying to learn the handstand push-up. If you were training this a little bit while learning the handstand, it'll definitely set you ahead of the curve. So what you want to do for this is basically it's just a handstand hold, but with bent arms. So all you do is get your cat out of the way. Then what you want to do is find a nice open area and basically just put your hands down like you're going to go into a handstand, but bend your arms and kick up. Now, it's really scary to do at first. You just kind of have to get used to it. It's definitely easier to learn on parallettes, but I learned it first on the floor, and I would recommend you guys definitely learn it on the floor as well. If you're learning it on parallettes, it's really easy to hold with just completely bent arms, but try to push as far upwards as possible, at least to a 90-degree angle. And for this exercise, I would hold it for about 30 seconds. All right, for exercise number 2, we're still on the floor. Probably gonna be on the floor for all of these. But this exercise is pike push-ups. The difference between a pike push-up and a regular push-up is that you're piking at your hips. So in a regular push-up, you would be completely parallel to the ground, like this. In a pike push-up, your feet are closer to your hands, and you're like this. You lean forward and back up. A beginner mistake that I see a lot of people make is they bend their elbows outwards and their head comes straight in between their hands. So it kind of looks like this. Don't do that. What you want to do is lean forward and keep your elbows in. So instead of your elbows flaring outwards, keep them in and just lean forward. So again, instead of your head coming in between your hands, you want your head to go forwards and your elbows to stay in. Lean forward and push back. Just like that. One thing I like about this exercise is that it's easy to progress. You usually start on the floor with pike push-ups just like I showed you, and then if you want them to get harder, you can elevate your feet. Again, this will make it harder to perform, but you'll get a lot stronger. So just
Alright, so for exercise 3, I decided to switch it up last minute, and I switched it to just handstand push-up negatives. So all this is you kick up into a handstand and lower down into a bent arm handstand as slowly and as controlled as possible. Just do this for maybe like 5 reps at most, because you just really want to focus on good quality slow reps here. With this exercise, it's a negative rep, so you're working the eccentric portion of the handstand push-up, and with the next exercise, we'll work the concentric portion.
all right, back to the floor for exercise 4. This is the bent arm press to handstand. So for this, what you do is you almost get in a position like you're gonna do a bent arm handstand, but instead of kicking your legs up, you slide your legs forward until they float off the ground, and then you push up into a handstand. The way I would progress this exercise is I would start with the tucked variation, then go to a straddle variation, and then the piked variation. I'm going to show you guys what all 3 of those look like right now. For the bent arm tuck press to handstand, what you do is you get into like a straight arm plank position like you're about to do a push-up, and then what you want to do is lean forward, drop your head down, lean forward, and shoot your hips up while your legs come closer to you and go into a tuck position and then press to handstand. Sounds like a lot, but it's kind of simple once you get used to it. Okay, it's supposed to be smoother than that, but you get the point. So once you learn the tuck variation, now it's time to move on to the straddle. So for this one, same thing, except spread your legs. Lastly, after you learn the tuck, then the straddle, now it's time for the pike. Again, I'm gonna show you guys what the little sliding looks like, a little bit slower, but basically you just lean forward and your feet will kind of float upwards like that. And then once you feel your feet come off the ground, just try to go into a handstand. Since this is a really skill-based exercise, just do them 1 rep at a time. Don't do sets of multiple reps at a time. And try to do like 3 to 5 sets of that. All right, y'all, so for the final exercise, I'm in my bedroom. I used to do these in the living room, then I started tearing up the wallpaper with my feet, and my parents got mad at me, so I had to move to my own bedroom. But for exercise number 5, we have the wall handstand push-up. What you do is you get into a chest-to-wall handstand position and just try to do handstand push-ups like that. Again, same thing with the pike push-up. Make sure you're leaning forward and back, keeping your elbows tucked in instead of flaring your elbows out and keeping your head in between your hands. That's the reason I like the chest to wall versus the back to wall. It's a lot easier to keep good form like this. Here's what it looks like. Now, if you can't do this quite yet, that's okay. What I would do first is do negative reps. So these are eccentric reps where you're just going into a chest to wall handstand and lowering as slowly as possible all the way down to a bent arm handstand, and then finding a way to get back up and repeatedly doing that. So like this. Okay, ow. I would normally put a pillow on the ground, especially if you're doing negative reps or you're really pushing close to failure. I usually do that, I forgot. The way I would progress them is start with negatives. Once you can do full reps, start doing full reps. From there, I would move on to doing them with parallettes and getting a deeper range of motion. And then from there, you can mix up your grip, you know, do some close grip, do some normal, do some wide grip, do those variations with the parallettes, mix it up, do whatever you want. These are a great exercise that I would recommend anyone trying to get into calisthenics do right now. So yeah, that is my top 5 favorite exercises for learning the handstand push-up. If you haven't learned the handstand already and for some reason you're still watching this, check out my video on top 5 favorite handstand exercises. I would recommend first learning the handstand push-up on the ground, and once you learn that, if you want to learn it on parallettes next, just do all these exercises on parallettes. It's that simple. If you would like to learn the tiger bend some point in the future, I would recommend working on your elbow stand while you work on all these things, but other than that, bye.